We are now going into recording, Aiden. I am going to do...
Going down the rabbit hole?
We are going down the rabbit hole! Yes. Woo! Now, there's that weird thing where... I'm trying to get used to the screen sharing thing, where I actually show my screen while I'm recording.
Yeah.
I'm trying to not show too much, but... So we lost internet connection, which made me wonder if the government really is listening to us. Speaking of which, making sure that the phone is off. That was weird, because we've now lost power and lost connection. I don't lose connection here a whole lot. I want to make that clear. At my apartment, I almost never ever lose internet connection. I've been on my computer doing a whole bunch of different stuff on a regular basis. This is one of the few times I've lost connection, and I don't think I've lost connection any other time I've lived here. So this might be a first. I don't think I've lost internet connection like that before. So we had to cut the last video short. And then I had to go reset my internet so that the video would actually save, because I do everything online, unfortunately, because I don't want to... I have an old laptop. I cannot really stress out the laptop by having so much of the memory be taken up for recording... what would you call that? A recording app or whatever. Anyways, point being, can't record on my computer directly. I have to record using online services. But anyways... I have found this email, Aiden, and anyone watching can actually now read with me. So it says, met with George Church afterwards, shared our Neil fan club secret handshake. So, I'm going to have to write that one down. I haven't written down too much in my notebook in a while, but that one I should write down. That they have a secret handshake. That is new. And it's for the Neil Club. Oh, and I cut my finger, so it hurts for me to write a little bit. My handwriting's going to be terrible. So we have something called a Neil Fan Club Secret Handshake. Secret Handshake. That one I want to have an actual freaking note, handwritten note for it. And wait a minute. That's a little different. Okay, there it is. 1902. Okay. I gotta write down the whole thing. This is something I've learned. I still haven't. My first live, I meant to go ahead and put in all the resources. In my first live, I realized I was having a really hard time finding all the sources. I thought I wrote down enough. I didn't, to make sure that I could find all the resources that we went through. But anyways, this says something... I assume you haven't seen link, and the link is Neanderthal baby surrogate mother story isn't true. And then we got a secret handshake. That's interesting. Open and then right view. Got another one. Okay. Same thing. And this guy is Neil Gershenfeld. And what do you know, Gershenfeld? Is that a German name?
Kind of does sound German. It's either German or possibly Russian, maybe Ukrainian. Well, that region's pretty similar.
He's actually, Neil Gershenfeld is the first guy that pops up, probably because of the Epstein files. It's an Ashkenazi Jewish surname of German origin. Yay! American physicist, a professor at MIT in media arts and the sciences director. I'm sure he's not having a good time right now. He's like, oh yes, Jeffy boy, I just talked to him a few times, you know? I just talked to him just a handful of times. What does the news say? The first thing he's listed alongside Barack Obama, and the second one is Epstein's ties with MIT further reveal less in latest DOJ document release. Help GeoBlue keeps asking for the same documents again, and it won't pay my $17,746 claim. Yeah, no one's talking about the Epstein connection. That's interesting. That's interesting that no one is talking about his Epstein connection with the secret handshake. Why is he not? So out of everyone, normally when I look up a name that I find in the files, like his Epstein connection will pop up. I'm not getting that. Let me try it. Like, I just have his last name, so let me try first name and last name in Google. He's the first thing that pops up, though, when I put in Gershenfeld. Yeah, he's still only popping up as a physicist, and it's the same thing. Jeffrey Coons attended dinner party at Jeffrey Epstein's house. The artist confirmed to hyper allergic that he was present at a 2013 dinner, but said he did not have a relationship with Epstein. How MIT's Fab Lab scaled around the world. MIT to monitor the release of Epstein's files before probe decision. President Gorham says. What's interesting is people who are watching the video will actually have a better view of my computer than I do, because people can't see this, but right around here there's actually damage done to my computer, so I have a hard time seeing this like general area.
No.
I don't want to get a new computer just yet. Shoot. Anyways, Gershenfeld. Very interesting guy. Gershenfeld. Alright, that was the last one on the first one. I think we can get through all 36. I think we can do it. They probably have like 20 duplicates of the next one anyways. Just a bunch of links. Probably got some sort of STD for computers if I touch them. That's what I should call all these. Oh, what? The first. Pardon?
No.
I was making a joke about viruses, computer viruses.
Yeah.
The first 1,250 tickets are free to ASU community members with ASU ID. Quantities limited and restrictions only. That's nothing. It's just more boring stuff. I want to know more about that special handshake. Yes, but the question is whether it's interesting, unexplored space beyond what Bitcoin, PayPal, and NFC are already doing. From Neil Gershfeld. The reason I haven't been thinking about money is digital fab changes to the economics of who pays whom for what. I'm very interested in creating a platform for distributed production. Where's the Neanderthal? No, not here. Neanderthal. Wait. You know what's interesting? Neanderthal's not really popping up in these. It's just popping up in the links, and so. But Gershenfeld. Wait a minute. This is a different one. It's, I believe, met with church afterwards, shared our Neil fan club secret handshake. He asked, though 20% of time to think sounds like a significant proportion, when there is so many other things like sleeping, eating, not a lot left. So this is like the second time that secret handshake's been mentioned. Because he wasn't talking about sleeping and eating in the last one. Unless I misread it or I skimmed over it or something. Because I've done that a few times. Let me go back. Just to make sure. 902. That's the same one. My bad. My bad. Rebecca overlooks things sometimes because there's a million of these. And they also have duplicates. Now people can judge me for my inability to keep track of certain things. I'm wondering if the same one. It's just a matter of degree. I take your concerns to heart. I am the Neanderthal problem solver. I am the naked guy. That's weird. At the end of the boat ride down to the river, burning my clothes. If necessary, keep the others warm, not letting you shiver. What? What? Not entirely worry, always, you never do. Feeling better. Okay. So I'm reading backwards. So, Jeffrey Epstein to somebody? To Kathy Rumler. Unauthorization, notification. Well, that's interesting. I don't know if I would phrase anything like I am the naked person. Oh, I opened it in the wrong side. If you and I create a new form of money, what would qualify as a thing that makes things? What? If you and I create a new form of money, what would qualify as a thing that makes things? No, this is just a secret handshake email follow-up. Open a right view. I wonder if it's another duplicate. Unexplored space beyond Bitcoin play count of C. This is more of the same email thread. I keep reading open my right view instead of new tab or whatever. Dear friends and colleagues, the serves to announce that as of July 1st, 2017, I will no longer be employed at Rutgers University. I have taught biology full-time for 44 straight years, and it's painful to have this vital role removed from me. There are several implications of general utility. I will no longer have a Rutgers email address. Redacted. Fortunately, I have now stored all such addresses and mail and will up through the end of the month. Pretty sure. So this is Robert Trivers. So if you wish to contact me, do so with the current address. All mail will be stored as usual, and I will respond directly. Should you forget this address, it will not be available on redacted. I will no longer have a Rutgers mailing address instead, and any mail should be sent to my Florida address redacted. I am in need of a job. I am now a property in rural Jamaica. It is a naturalist paradise. As someone who really likes nature, I don't know because there's not a whole lot of macrofauna in Jamaica. But there's another evolutionary biologist within 20 miles. There is not another evolutionary biologist within 20 miles. I can't walk down the hall and ask a friend if he or she has heard that Neanderthal might have gotten herpes from us. I miss that. I need to live in a town with at least a small college or university campus. Any help that can be offered will be deeply appreciated. With every good wish, Robert Trivers. That's something I've heard is like we STD'd them to death. I think that's one of the theories that we just gave so many STDs to freaking Neanderthals that they just died off. Alright, here we go. Right view.
That reminds me of a joke that we made in our first draft where we compared Epstein to a Neanderthal.
Yes. Oh, this is not the first.
More.
Oh, we're publishing that episode. The episode's still out there, and we're gonna publish that one. It was recorded. We got it.
Okay. Was recorded, didn't say who.
Man, we can repeat that though. That's funny. He does look like a Neanderthal. To view this email's webpage, go here. I don't want to go there. Holy smokes, it'll let me click on it. Nope, I do not want to do that. Great debate. Extinctions through tragedy to opportunity. Probably all these freaking links have got STDs for your computer. There's a bunch of links for this guy to read. If they didn't have links before, I wonder if they got them now. I'm just constantly worried that I'll accidentally do the thing since I have it. I need to get a better mouse where I'll be scrolling and I'll click it on accident. Because my computer will do the thing where if I just put my on my little touchpad, if my finger hovers over it for too long, it'll register it as a click. Oh, it's been a while since I made that mistake. Then again, maybe I don't want to let's go start the bottom and read it like we would a normal email thread. Just a bunch of warnings at the very bottom. Confidential warnings. It's a shame you're not a fly on the wall here. This is from Jeffrey Epstein to Valerie Post. I have a very active imagination. You would have to. Then again, maybe I don't want that visual. Then Jeffrey Epstein tells her, coward. And she responds, Neanderthal. But what visual are we talking about? Please give us details. What visual? What are you doing? Why don't you want the visual from this? Oh, here we go. And he responds guilty. It's literally the exact same email thread, only he responds to Neanderthal as guilty. He is guilty of being a Neanderthal. There we go. Oh, no, I'm putting it. One is a coward, one is a Neanderthal. More of the email thread. We're gonna zip through the remaining. We got 16 left. If I can just keep up, not mixing up everything, that'd be great. Understood, but inherent in that is the word pays. Bitcoin et al. Is the LSD of finance. Some promise, but clearly illegal. So Bitcoin has some promise, but clearly illegal. This is back in 2013. I wonder if that's true today. Unexplored space, Bitcoin. Looks like it's more.
The beauty of cryptocurrency is that it's unregulated by any government, and that's kind of what gave it its appeal.
Pretty much. Although I'm not, once again, I'm not a huge tech person. There's probably more to it nowadays. I think El Salvador actually accepts it as crypto. Actually accepts cryptocurrency as actual at least Bitcoin. I think they're the country that accepts Bitcoin as actual legal currency. The LSD of finance thing again, and I'm not seeing anything different. We got more of the duplicates. I keep doing the thing where I open another tab up. Oh! Well, this is actually more interesting. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize I was keeping that little notification up. The Penrose Institute. The Roger Penrose Institute for a Study of Creativity, Consciousness, and Cosmology. Contents. Introduction to the Institute. Sir Roger Penrose. The 3 areas of research. This is a 64 long page. So basically what this is, it looks like it's a lecture. It's a full-on lecture for... Let's see, we're entering a new scientific era where unification of quantum mechanics and general relativity will create new physics and new devices. 30 years ago, Roger Penrose wrote a seminal book, The Emperor's New Mind. Unification, he said, would require modification to quantum mechanics, and that modification would explain human consciousness. Scientists met his proposal of skepticism. Quantum phenomena were only known in laboratories near absolute zero, but recent breakthroughs show quantum phenomena are important in biology at room temperature. Photosynthesis gets its efficiency from coherent transport of energy, and some birds have a quantum compass located in their eyes. We believe studying unification will throw light on the fundamental laws of physics and generate technology in the fields of AI, human disease, and aging, along with developing new types of incredibly sensitive sensors to probe the universe and our planet. When was this published? Because if they're talking about AI, I'm wondering when was this made, and I'm not seeing a date yet. So I'm actually gonna slowly scroll through it, see if I can find anything interesting. There's Sir Roger Penrose himself. Pardon? Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to process. So, I guess it's just a matter of what we know of the case as it is, which, it's a long stretch of time. It's like, possibly, like, late 80s to early 2010s.
Because,
we know that Epstein was apprehended in 2019.
Yeah. Well, this could have been
When it comes
after.
down to technology, they could be working on it for like a really long time.
Oh.
But it's like we don't know when exactly. Like it really has blown up like over the past 5 years. So yeah. Like if this is like one of his most recent emails, then I can concede to him being kind of in the they're imagining it now.
Yeah. I noticed at the bottom of some of these slides that it says the Penrose Institute 2016 to 2017. So this is going all the way back to 2016 or 2017 when these slides are made. I like this little worm thing. I did not do any of this stuff. The quantum neuron. Holy smokes. Yeah, I was more into like actual like biology where we weren't trying to freaking combine technology with biology. Like we weren't trying to hook up humans to computers.
Oh yeah,
Transhumanism. There's the Neanderthal. We got a picture of the head of the Neanderthal next to the human head. It's interesting. Now I will see the human head on the left looks like someone who's Anglo-Saxon because your skull actually looks different based off of your ancestry. And the skull on the right, yeah, that doesn't look like any other group of humans that I'm aware of beyond Neanderthals, but it's like, how different is it compared to like every group of people on planet Earth? I'm not too sure. Alright. Keep going. Quantum measurement. Oh, it's Schrodinger's cat. Is he alive or dead? We don't know. And keep going to see what else is in here. New physics, the origins of our universe. I think nature's imagination is so much greater than man's. She's never going to let us relax. Richard Feynman. More quantum physics looks like. Development, desktop gravitational wave detector. It didn't look like they were talking too much about Neanderthals beyond that comparison. Inspirational mathematics, illusions, new forms, impossible shapes. That shape looks pretty possible, but whatever. Art inspiration, infographics, AI/HI puzzles. Well, what they have for an example of AI is a chess program. You know what I'm talking about? How you play chess with a computer? That's what they have for their example for AI back in 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
Which they made one of those like I think back in the 90s, and that was a huge deal because it actually beat like the world chess champion. Maybe not world chess champion, but he was a really high performing. He was really high performing in chess. One of the what do they call them?
Have always been hard to beat at in chess.
They call them grandmasters.
Yeah.
I I want to say it was of the world, but it might have been debatable. I don't know. All right. I'm just gonna keep skimming a little bit because this is appendices. Creativity. Is creativity computation? Huh. When did creativity emerge? Way towards the really recently, in terms of the development of planet Earth. Lucas Penrose argument. The understanding puzzle. Keep going. Nothing too crazy, but I do want to see all across those. There's a neuron. Very detailed example of a neuron. Mitochondria. Very interesting. So Neanderthal, mentioned only 4 times. Neuron culturing for human Neanderthal animal models. A range of different neurons can be generated from stem cells. DNA segments can be spliced into neurons to vary their genetic makeup. Culture can be kept alive several months, allowing training and characterization. Neuron culturing for Neanderthal. Are we going to be making neurons? Are we going to be making brains that represent Neanderthal brains? We were able to culture a range of neurons with features from different species, including Neanderthals, man's closest relative. Actually, they think Denovian, there's another species now they believe is actually more closely related to human, is more actually, we inbred with them more. So we have Denovian, you get what I'm saying. It's another guy. It's some other group of people, and I think they actually did reproduce with Africans as opposed to the Neanderthals, which only reproduce with non-Africans. In their several 100,000-year existence, they did not develop language or tool use. It suggested this failure occurred because they developed larger portions of their brain to motor control. Devoted larger portions of their brain to motor control. However, it might be better explained through a difference in the fundamental working of their neurons. This might allow us to locate the fundamental neuron structures which explain Homo sapien creativity in language. And then that's where their mention is in the timeline for creativity and stuff. Okay. That's weird. Let's see what we got here. Alright, 3 pages long. It's the same email thread of the guilty of being a Neanderthal sort of deal. He likes his Neanderthal analogies. Oh my goodness, it's the same thread. When is it ending? Why do we need so many threads? I wonder if the reason why you get so many copies is they just took so many electronics and they found the exact same file on multiple electronics, and they just downloaded all of them, and they didn't care to like differentiate, they didn't take the time to make sure they weren't downloading multiples of the same email thread or files or whatever. The Shimon post. Alright, this is also 36 pages long, so I'm gonna look to see where I can find it. Okay, wrong one. Neanderthal is not mentioned in this, even though it pops up in this freaking file. Huh, why? Nuclear crisis. High strikes. Okay, I'm gonna see out of all of the freaking articles where Neanderthal might be mentioned. 10 critical questions about Japan's nuclear crisis. Probably not. We in the Middle East have replaced humiliation with dignity. Probably not. High stakes over Bahrain. Maybe. Holy smokes, the Saudis are in Bahrain. Probably not. A regional strategy for democracy in the Middle East. Highly doubtful. An interview of Musa? Physics of the future, maybe. Why I'm gonna go all the way to the bottom. That might be easier. Huh. We might be able to bring back the Neanderthal, Mr. Kaku. You have a look at the name Kaku. Oh, nope, here it goes. It said 0 a second ago, I thought. Alright, our zoos will most likely be filled with animals that are now extinct. Oh my goodness, they're doing Jurassic Park! How many movies do we need to explain why this is a stupid idea, why this is unethical and dumb? We might be able to bring back the Neanderthal, Mr. Kaku. Is alert to ethical implications. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Like you are. Like you ever are. Is alert to ethical implications. He quotes Richard Klein, an anthropologist in Stanford, about Neanderthals. Are you going to put them in Harvard or in a zoo? Mr. Kaku suggests we will have replicators or molecular assemblers capable of creating almost anything we want. The same way nature can take hamburgers and vegetables and turn them into a baby. I don't think that's how it works. I will say, like, a lot of these, having gone to college and having been around a lot of really smart people who actually have changed the course of human history and science, a lot of these people do get huge egos, and then they'll say things that drastically oversimplify a situation. Alright, what about...
You mean it's one of those cases? Which
Yeah.
honestly probably is the case, because they're talking some mad crap.
Yeah, but anyways, they're just mentioning Neanderthals as a potential Jurassic Park sort of deal, which... Let's not go there. Let's just... Because they've done that with humans in the past.
Yeah, we're already dealing with Skynet.
Ah!
Now we have to worry about Skynet attached to a T-Rex.
Oh, this is interesting. This is a 23andMe one. Leslie Groff she's mentioned in the CC section. You're receiving this email because you copied you were copied on the original email sent to 23andMe customer care team. You will receive email notifications on all updates to the request. Reply to this email to add a comment to the request. Leslie, 23andMe personal genome services that may be purchased through our U.S. online store is only available for purchase in the United States. It must be used and returned for analysis from within the United States in order for us to comply with applicable laws. I apologize if this was unclear to you at the time of your purchase. This is specifically addressed in the 23andMe Terms of Service, which customers must agree to in placing the order, section 10 states. You may not use the services outside of the country to which your sample collection kit was shipped from 23andMe. So this is relevant to that one Sultan guy who they send it to over in Dubai. At this time, I am required to invalidate all sample kits in your recent order, as we cannot provide the U.S. version of the personal genome service outside of the United States. I have processed a full refund for your kits to the purchasing payment method. You should see this refund. I wonder if this is a part of that. Yep, hello Taylor Sultan. I've been waiting already for the kits, so he did not want to wait any longer. I had them loaded on an Emirates plane and flown to Dubai upon the arrival of the kits, so we cannot return them. I don't really know what else to do from here, unless they might be a discount you can add for the mistake, but the kits are hopefully in use already. Leslie, what the heck? I just want to take a look at something really quick. Okay, I'm looking good in terms of my camera, since I've been moving around a little bit. This is about the 30 ancestry kits that were purchased by the Sultan. Oh boy, let me zoom in. Oh boy, he's really wanting the ancestry kit at $99 per kit. I'm not sure what to do here. I know Sultan would like these kits as soon as possible since we have been going back and forth for a few weeks. I hate to ask, but is it possible for me to place an order for 30 ancestry kits only at $99 each when we receive the 30 health plus ancestry kits when we send them back? Can you use a call tag? Okay, Neanderthal ancestry is included in the testing, which is why it's here. Hi Taylor, do the kids come ancestry only? I don't see it on the website, but Sultan is asking. Sent from my iPhone, tremendous, thank you. Thank you for confirming your order. I'm going backwards, by the way. Hello, Leslie. You're free to enter identical personalizations for the kits if you wish. The original personalization on each kit is meant to help customers organize multiple kits, but will not necessarily correspond with the name of the person who will be using the kit in question. Until a sample has been registered to 23andMe account, it can be used by anyone. And the registration process will allow the sample kit to be associated with the same with the name of the person providing the sample. Please let me know when you have completed your order. What is up with these freaking kits again? He merely entered his name for all 30 kits. Once he received the kits, he would then have each individual register each individual kit. Is it okay to proceed like this? We are unable to process orders over the phone or place orders on customers' behalf. Blah blah blah. Good morning, Taylor. This is about can't seem to figure out how to purchase the kit without plugging in names for each kit. This website does not allow me to move on from this function, or can you explain to me how to circumvent an addition of names for each kit? I would like to get this done today. Most of these are from Leslie Groff, not from the actual person working for 23andMe. And there are insufficient funds in the purchasing account. They're all billionaires. How the heck do you not have sufficient funds to purchase something that was worth not even $3,000? Holy smokes! I think maybe it was $3,000 after tax, but still, insufficient funds for billionaires. My goodness, this was back in 2013. Hello, Taylor. Would like to help Sultan bin Sulayem to facilitate his order. Place. He wants the people he works with to participate as well. The kits are to be delivered to Jeffrey Epstein, and then there's his New York address. The kits are to be delivered to Jeffrey Epstein's address for ease. We've ordered many kits ourselves as gifts. Indeed, Sultan received his personal kit from Jeffrey as a gift. I keep going. Sultan bin Sulayem. Okay, he's actually reporting his results. I put a large purchase of ancestry test kits on behalf of my coworkers and my company who wanted to do the same test. I've often wondered who were the 30 test kits for. Now he's saying it's for his coworkers. Once I receive the kits, each individual will register and send his kit to your lab to be analyzed. Our shipment warehouse specifically reviews large orders and for compliance with the 23andMe terms of service, so I may prioritize the release of your order through the review process. Okay, that's kind of like the end of all relevant information. But that was interesting. I'm glad I finally got one of my questions answered. Which one is this again? This is, okay, it's 08. There it is. That was the one we just read. Open in right view. Yes, I am of 18 years of age. Or older. Yep. Dick Gregory. Activist, social critic, social satirist, philosopher. Anti-drug crusader, comedian, author, actor, recording artist, nutritionist, and entrepreneur. I don't know if I care. Alright. Joke about a husband being Neanderthal. Guess it doesn't matter then. This is just another one of those. That's the only mention. Alright. Finding the Neanderthal. Okay. Why did this? Forget voodoo economics because of this is Neanderthal thinking. What do you mean it's Neanderthal thinking? Why will it not pop up again? There we go. How did a supposedly crazy idea make its way back into mainstream politics for it to get voodoo economics because this is Neanderthal thinking? And there's nothing else on Neanderthal.
Alright.
For that particular file. So we got a few more. 6 more to go after this, and we're done. Hi Taylor, thank you for your email. Might be possible to use the kits. Have the kits brought back to the United States and shipped to you from the U.S. for processing. Would that work? Oh boy. This is more about the 23andMe stuff. We do not currently offer our services in the United Arab Emirates and cannot support the use of our services in your region at this time. I apologize for any inconvenience. My sincere apologies for a delayed response. In the event you are still interested in receiving a refund for your health plus ancestry kits order. Looks like it's more about the Neanderthal stuff. But let me see if they had any positive results for Neanderthal. Not that side. Not that side, my computer friend. This side. I know you're hesitant to look at it. Okay, just the Neanderthal ancestry again. Doo, 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 doo. 40's the end, that's right. Right view. Haplotypes. This is more of the 23andMe. Maybe purchased through a US online store. I'm getting hungry. We'll have to end this as soon as... We'll have to end this as soon as we're done looking at all the Neanderthal cloning stuff, potentially. I don't know if he wanted to clone Neanderthals or not. Like, maybe. And that's why they had that thing about the Neanderthal neurons and the putting Neanderthals in a zoo and stuff like that. Probably not. Still about Neanderthal ancestry. Whoop-de-doo. I think it's another one of those things that it was overhyped, where people thought maybe he wanted to do Neanderthal cloning, but they just took like a few sentences out of the files, and then they super exaggerated it, because I can't find anything. It's about Angela Merkel. Different name. Oh, it's more about Pablo's team working on sequencing the extinct Neanderthal genome. And technology for industrial-sized cryobanks with a view to stem cell and HIV vaccine research. It's literally the only time Neanderthal is mentioned. Okay. 3 more. Jailed militant key to Middle Eastern talks. Pretty sure this also looks very familiar. Where is Neanderthal mentioned? Most of us are part Neanderthal. That is correct. Yeah. Great to know the order has shipped. Thank you so much for your help. Can track the UPS order. Nope, I don't know. I'm not trying to cancel. I'm not trying to do that. More Neanderthal ancestry. Last one, and I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. Just been waiting already for the kits, so I did not want to wait any longer. I had loaded an Emirates plane. I've flown to Dubai upon the arrival of the kits, so we cannot return them. I don't know if they processed them. It's like she made it clear that they were not trying to test people outside of the United States at the time because they legally couldn't do that. But then, it's just, it looks like he did get them. Whether or not they actually were processed, I might have skimmed over it, but looks, well, no, he said he got his results back, so they did process them. He did process the results somehow, even though they weren't supposed to. I wonder if someone can get prosecuted over this. Like, I don't, because it's so new, because this type of DNA testing is so new, there may not be actually laws around it, because that's what happens when you have new stuff, is like, it's like when they first started hacking. People would literally hack government websites, but because there was no laws around hacking at the time, it's like, well, we can't prosecute or get them into trouble. There's literally no law that they broke. That'd be kind of interesting if we just, imagine if we were born like a couple of decades before we were actually born. We would have existed in a time where we could have legally have hacked the Pentagon, which some people did. Imagine what we would be uncovering. We might have been able to find Epstein.
Comes no regulations.
Pardon, what? Repeat that, please.
With new technologies comes no regulations.
Pretty much. I think that was true. Drones would have been different, because at least drones, you can make the argument of, like, photography.
Well, they were typically either made for war
or taking pictures, which you can have laws around both of those. Yeah, here he is talking about, like, he had purchased one kit 3 months ago, and it was interesting to see his results. So maybe he didn't get the results for the 30. But that's the end of all the Neanderthal stuff. So it looks like, it doesn't look like Jeffrey Epstein was invested in Neanderthal cloning, but he was reading on it. That's what it looks like to me, based off of everything I've read and gone through. And I'm hungry. I want to get going. Anything you want to say before we close out?
Nope. But if Epstein was really invested in Neanderthal cloning, then he just wanted to be united with his kin.
He's just like his twin or whatever. Like, yeah, he does look quite a bit like a Neanderthal, with the big forehead and jaw. And he already has a twin. Maybe he just needed the Neanderthal to make Palm Beach Pete. That was the missing piece. But anyways,
it's granted, I'm still not quite out on whoever Pete is.
He's a clone of some sort. I don't know. Everything I know about cloning.
Maybe Epstein was Palm Beach Peach's evil twin.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know, but it's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know everything I know about human cloning. I don't think we've gotten there yet. I know a lot of people believe we have, but everything I know about how the human body works and how cloning works and how hard it is just to clone a cat, I don't think we're doing human cloning just yet.
And as you mentioned videos ago, we can't even make a stable dog. I don't think we can make a stable human.
Not really. I mean, I've never heard of a dog. Let me see what the longest lived clone dog lived. I stopped screen sharing. clone dog. Let's see if it lived a normal life. And it doesn't say right away. Let's see if it. 10 years. Snuppy. It was the first clone dog. One of the longest lived, surviving for 10 years before dying of cancer. He was an Afghan hound. He was similar to his somatic cell donor Ty, who lived to age 12. So that's a pretty good long life to live. But the problem is of cloning any animal is like you get a lot of flops before you get any success. Typically, it's like you'll try to clone a dog, and it's like for every successful clone, you have like 10 fails. In terms of like getting the egg to like actually become the organism. Like you have to fertilize the egg, and it's for every successful clone you get like 10 failed eggs or whatever, and that's one of the reasons why it's so expensive. It's because egg retrieval is so expensive, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But,
alright.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later.
Yep, talk to you later.
Bye.